The episode begins exactly where the last one ended. Sheriff Rowe is alone in his dark office, staring at the frozen frame of the creature crossing the road, a hunched, distorted thing wearing Aaron Vale's torn jacket. He keeps glancing between the footage and an old case file from 20 years ago, containing photos of a burned clearing, strange symbols, two dead adults, and a note identifying the only survivor, 4-year-old Aaron. Rowe pockets the USB drive and mutters to himself that he won't let this happen again. Then he shuts off the screen, plunging the room into darkness. Somewhere else, Aaron wakes before dawn in his bedroom. He's lying sideways across the bed, exhausted like he never actually slept. His jaw aches, blood on his lips where he bit himself in the night. And inside his head, a broken whisper rides beneath a layer of static, a voice telling him to run, to open, to bare teeth. When he stands, he's surprised to find no mud, no leaves, no signs of wandering in his sleep. For the first time in days, the floor is clean. He drags the curtain aside. The forest is quiet, the ringing fading from his ears. But the peace doesn't convince him. In the kitchen, he forces down coffee, mouth sore, hands still shaking. Old newspaper clippings about the ritual fire that killed his parents lie on the table, the same ones he refuses to look at. Mara texts to check if he's alive, normal alive, she clarifies and drags him to the diner. Elsewhere, a stranger arrives in town. Caleb Ward, mid-30s, carrying a camera bag and a hunter's stare. He's following a digital folder labeled Pine Ridge, recurring incidents, leaked photos, old maps, patterns of violence that repeat every few years. And he's come to see what the town is hiding this time. At the diner, Aaron meets Mara. She tells him he looks slightly less undead than yesterday. He admits he's been hearing static in his dreams. She says that's new and not a good kind of new. She hints that if something is wrong with him, they need to get ahead of it before the sheriff decides to. Aaron doesn't have an answer. Caleb enters quietly behind them, listening to the hum of gossip around the room, taking mental notes. At the hospital, Dr. Hart performs a deeper autopsy on the hiker's body. The wounds don't match any known animal. The bite marks are inconsistent, as if the jaw was capable of unnatural strain. She finds a pale, thick strand of hair, or something like hair, stuck inside a wound channel. It's nothing she recognizes, nothing she wants to. Meanwhile, Caleb visits the gas station. The cashier confirms that the sheriff pulled camera footage, but not before the cashier saw something himself. A figure running across the road. Human-shaped but too bent, too bony, back stretching like it wanted to escape through the shirt. And the jacket looked a lot like Aaron's. Caleb logs the name. Back at the auto shop, Aaron tries to work, but the static is louder today. His vision flickers, metal turning to forest floor, the engine block beating like a heart. He nearly collapses. Rick catches him and demands he go to the hospital. Dr. Hart examines him. His pulse is erratic. His body is overheating, his nerves firing wrong. She asks about memory loss, ringing in the ears, strange dreams. Aaron admits to static, to waking up as though he'd run for miles. Hart orders a CT scan. Inside the scanner, the machine hum merges into the static in Aaron's head. He hears growls beneath the sound. Images flash, trees rushing by, blood, the gas station road from an inhuman angle. His spine arches, teeth bare. His eyes narrow into slits. For a moment, the machine's monitor glitches and an image appears. A skull shape with a jaw unhinged too far, something monstrous superimposed over his own. The tech panics, but by the time the scan ends, Aaron looks human again, barely. Dr. Hart reviews the images later and sees the same glitch herself. A flicker of something that is not possible, yet unmistakable. She pulls Aaron's blood sample, examines it under a microscope, and sees thin, pale filaments twisting through the cells, alive, moving, branching. Not human. Not from any pathology she knows. She retrieves a secret old folder labeled lycanthropic syndrome and realizes the town hid the truth years ago. She starts a new confidential file on Aaron, aware of the danger and the responsibility now placed on her. That evening, Caleb speaks to Mara in the diner. He presents himself as a journalist chasing patterns, strange deaths, strange stories, towns that refuse to admit what they know. Mara gives him nothing directly, but Caleb is experienced enough to hear the truth in what she avoids saying. Back home, Aaron's reflection betrays him again, jaws stretching wider than they should, eyes burning in the glass while his real body stands still. When he turns on the TV, the static seems to form shapes, eyes staring back at him. The whisper returns, "You saw, you remember." He shuts the TV off, terrified. At the hospital, Hart watches the filaments in Aaron's blood multiply under the lens. They cling to blood cells, pulse faintly, forming delicate branching structures. She realizes whatever infected Aaron has been present for years, maybe since childhood, and it's evolving. Night lands. The forest edge shows bloody footprints in the soil, half human, half elongated, disappearing into the trees. Something cracks its own vertebrae in the distance. Something alive, something waiting. Aaron, alone in his bedroom, receives a text from an unknown number. "You were at the road last night." His panic rises. Another message follows. "I saw the footage." And another. "You don't know what you are, do you?" Aaron stares into the darkness as the voice in his head swells into static. The final message appears without him touching anything. "Run!" The static explodes inside his skull. His reflection warps into a half-wolf silhouette with exposed spine, glaring back at him. And then it's gone. The room is still. Aaron trembles in the dark. It's not a sickness. It's not something he caught. It's something that's been growing, waiting for the right moment to surface. And now, it knows he's aware.